pessimistic, optimistic, and everyone in between. My name is Connor Philippi, and welcome back to the Minnesotan Sports Podcast. And I have a very exciting guest. Drumroll, please. It is my wife, Gwen.
And I have controversial opinions.
She does have controversial opinions. Back when I had my old channel, back in high school, I did like reactions to Pentatonix videos and stuff. And we had a video that was very controversial because she doesn't like
It got
Pentatonix.
A lot of hits, though.
It did. Today, we're going to be doing the 9 new uniforms that were introduced for the NFL this season. All the teams that either changed their jerseys or have like alternate jerseys. And we're going to be ranking them in terms of just how we think they look aesthetic-wise, which aesthetic wasn't a word that I said until I met Gwen. I realized the other day I said the word aesthetic, and I was like, wait a second. Gwen actually works in weddings, and she works in like planning events, so she knows colors. But it's a little bit different in the NFL because it's more like what colors are cool, what colors like show like, you know, just it's
dominance. Yeah.
Cool versus like nice, elegant wedding is a little different, but you still have a good idea for what colors are. At the end of the day, what we're going to be talking about is subjective. Like,
yeah,
it's colors. But that doesn't mean we can't still be mad about them. And one, before we start, this isn't a new jersey.
Oh,
but
gosh.
The one that I get so mad is Gwen thinks the Chargers jerseys and like all these jerseys will be
their whole team design, really.
So you're looking at them right now. Specifically, I'm going to show you the baby blue or the powder blue jerseys with the white pants, which she thinks is a really bad color combination. I think that yellow and powder blue is one of the best combinations you can do out there, especially the way that they do them. Gwen thinks they're really bad somehow.
I personally think that baby blue on its own can be done really well. I think the Titans do it really well with like the steel, like gray color. I think it looks really sharp. But with the yellow, it just reminds me of like a kid taking a crayon to like an outline of a uniform. Like it just looks really childish to me, and I don't like it. And they blend together too much because they're both like cool colors.
I just don't agree with that. Let me know in the comments. That's the first thing you should do is go to the comments. I understand that it's polarizing because yes, the majority of people are on my side, but if there isn't a person, like we looked over like the rankings of the jerseys last night when we were debating this, and most of them were on my side and they were 1, but if they weren't 1, then they were like at the bottom. So yes.
So you're either a Gwen or a Connor.
So my opinion is right. However, I understand that if people don't go with my opinion, then it's like AC/DC. If you like them, you love them. Yeah, back to the matter at hand. We're going to be going over every new jersey that is going to be introduced into the NFL this year, and we're going to be covering all of it. So like it's going to all be lumped together with the jerseys that are like alternate uniforms, the jerseys that are like completely new rebrands of the team, the like throwback
retro
jerseys,
ones,
the classic ones, they'll all be lumped in together. If it's new this year, then we're going to cover it. And then before we start, we're going to be going over the ones that are just helmets. But if it's a new helmet too, it will be factored into the whole
uniform as a whole.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I think we should just start with the 3 that we have in common at the very top.
Yeah, surprisingly, like, we didn't talk about this beforehand, and we had the same top 3, which is really unlikely for us. So the top 3 for both of us, surprisingly, was Seattle Seahawks, number 1, the Buccaneers, number 2, and then the Vikings, number 3.
With the Seahawks, I think it's
like
really
clean and crisp while also, like, intimidating and giving you that nostalgia feeling.
Yeah, it is pretty similar to their throwback jerseys. I like the color scheme in general. I'm kind of middle of the road with the jerseys that are like the straight neon.
Yeah, I don't like those ones.
I like the ones where it's like the navy blue with just the outline of the neon.
Yep.
But like the whole neon in your
it's kind of really in your face. Yep.
So like I like that this is also like their old green colors, but it's more the blue because I actually liked when they were more that color blue. I think that their new jerseys are better for like the modern age, and it seems to work better. But I really like these throwback jerseys.
Yeah, me too.
And then number 2, we have the Buccaneers. I really like this creamsicle color.
It's so fun. Like, I typically am not a huge Bucs fan, in general. And their uniforms don't really stand out to me, but this is fun. It's creative. It gives like, I don't know, I just really like it. Like, it's intimidating while also being cool.
Yeah, and I think this color it pops. I think that creamsicle color with any other color but white would look bad. But I think there's just enough white in this, and with the helmet being white, I think it just is a perfect combination.
Me too.
And then we have the Vikings.
Vikings skull.
I'm actually wearing the jersey right now that this is emulating. As soon as I saw these, I had to get these jerseys. But I just really like, I guess I'm a little bit partial to it as a Vikings fan.
But I do, like, I love the nostalgia feeling of it because, like, the Vikings were so big, like, in that time, and that, like, jersey just gives you a certain feeling.
Yeah, it's the purple people eaters of, like, the 70s kind of vibe. But I also don't feel like it
looks too retro that it couldn't, like, look cool today.
Yeah, exactly.
Still fits.
I wouldn't love these if it was their official jersey that they wore every week.
Yeah.
Just because I would miss the Vikings actually being written out on the front of the jersey. Mm-hmm. But for a couple weeks a season, I think this is a really solid throwback jersey.
Oh, and we're especially excited because we get to see these jerseys in person for the one game that we're going to.
We're going to that game, so make sure you check out that video because if you're new to the channel, I do raw reactions every single week where as soon as the game's over, I just flip the camera around and I talk about the last Vikings game that happened. So that one will be at the stadium, so make sure you check that out. And now here's where we kind of have a little bit, this is actually similar. We have the Broncos where I have them at 4 and Gwen has them at 5, so we'll talk about that at the same time.
Yeah. I
like that color of jersey. It's a little bit brighter than what they would normally have, just by a little bit.
But I typically, once again, don't love the Broncos uniforms, but this, like, it makes it pop, and it kind of gives me almost like a collegiate feel, but not in a bad way. Some of the ones that I'm going to talk about later, I'm going to talk about how I don't like them because they give the collegiate feel.
Yeah.
But this one feels strong to me.
This is another great example of how white brings it all together.
Brings it together, absolutely. If they put any more of the navy in there, I think it wouldn't look as good.
Exactly. That's what I don't love a lot about the actual Broncos jerseys, is it's a little too much navy and too much orange. Yep. The white really makes it much better.
Yep, I agree.
So now here's where it gets kind of different.
This is a pretty big contrast.
So I have the Titans at 5.
And
she has them at 8. Or 9.
Titans is my last.
The very bottom one.
My number 4 was the Jets.
See, I think this is another one where I think if I was like this, I would be like, is this really what you're going with for all season long jerseys? But they're wearing them for 2 games this season, and
so it's not as bad.
This is one. Is the powder blue where you don't like this?
No,
one?
The thing is the Titans. I normally like their use of the powder blue. But with the, like, kind of orangey red, it's not a favorite for me. It kind of, once again, gives me, like, the kid with the crayon vibes.
I get how you feel that way, but I think it just makes it pop. Like, I like the outline of that color around the white, and then you add in the kind of lighter blue color in the back. And then, again, the white helmets, I think, make it look that much cooler. I just think that I always like when a team brings back when they used to be another team, and then I think maybe that's a reason why I like it so much, is because it's cool, because it's like that.
It's an homage, I guess that's true.
Like, it's cool, like, for a day, the Houston Oilers are a team again, so that might be kind of one of the reasons, just the nostalgia of it, even though I wasn't even alive when this team stopped existing.
I think I'm partial to the Titans, like, normal uniforms.
I get that. I'm not quite as high on the normal Titans uniforms as you are, so maybe that's one of the reasons.
I think we should go into the Jets now, though, because that's my number 4, and that's your one of your last ones.
Jets. I just think it's a little boring.
I think, once again, even though it's not a retro one, it kind of gives me that vibe, and it makes me feel like the good feelings of old football. Okay. And it's just kind of clean and crisp to me, because sometimes the green can be a little overwhelming. So, having those accents with their helmet and the colors and everything like that, I think it's simplistic, but it's powerful. And then, like, once they're playing and they get, like, all the grass stains on there, like, it's like, we're here to play.
That is what's cool about the all-white jerseys, I don't know. I think it's all completely white. There's like one green around the collar. I guess that adds something to it. I don't like the two stripes of green just on the sides. I don't know. It feels like just, and I get it. It's their legacy uniform, so like it's not like they can deviate that much from what it used to be. It just, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the Jets' old uniforms. I liked them more
Yeah.
than the new ones because I don't like the new ones at all. Glenn likes them. And then what I had next, the Eagles at 6.
I also have the Eagles at
Okay,
6.
so that's exactly where we left off. And this is another one. I think this is where I would have liked the Jets more if they were this much green because this is more of a green look. The thing is, I like the simplicity of these ones. I think it's just because I don't like that the other one, the Jets ones, were so simplistic while also being like the white color. I just like this color. It's called Kelly Green, for their old coach.
It is a really good color, and I'm a big fan of green, so I think that helps. But I wish that they did have more of those accents like the Jets does, the stripes or something. I wish there was something else on the uniform to kind of pull it together. Maybe some white accents to pull the pants in.
Yeah, it's just okay.
Yeah.
I guess is what you could call it.
It's a good number 6 spot.
Yeah. And then I had the Jets at 7, and then what were the ones we haven't talked about yet? The Colts and the Cardinals.
Yep.
So the Colts I had in my last spot, I think. Or no, my 8th spot. So we're pretty similar.
And I had it at 7, yep.
So this is one, I don't know, I just think, so
I'm going to go back to it. I think it gives me, same with the Cardinals, it gives me a collegiate vibe. It doesn't feel professional to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like, yeah, our colors are blue and white. Like,
yeah. And that it's one of those where every team used to have their like color rush jersey that they would wear on Thursday nights. So this, just to give them the benefit of that, this is not supposed to be like your normal jersey. This is one that's like supposed to be an out there Thursday night kind of look. And that was like when the Vikings had their those purple jerseys that just really popped. But I don't know. I
there's
agree
nothing
with
that
you.
stands out to me, and it's not like the leg stripes and the arm stripes are the exact same. There's nothing special about it. That looks like you could like look up football uniform and order it online.
Exactly. I think that if you're going to make a change to the Colts uniforms, which are just kind of nice and simple.
Yeah, I like them.
It's a good color. It's nice and simple, but I just don't like the black helmets also. I think one of the best parts about the Colts uniform is that they have a white helmet and it just brings out their logo more. I can't even tell from a distance that the Colts logo is on there.
That's not the thing I dislike about it, but that's an interesting thought.
And then we go to Gwen's 8th, my last.
Yep.
The Cardinals jerseys, they...
Connor has very strong opinions about this.
But yeah, the white one is just a ripoff of the 49ers white jerseys. Like if I showed you a picture of the 49ers white jerseys, it's the same thing. The black, it's just a black jersey with a red in the middle. Like there's nothing special about it. And then the writing of Arizona on the red ones, just, it looks like it was just, like, photoshopped on there.
Yeah. I wish it was, like, I like the font of it, and I like the idea of putting that there, like we have for the Vikings jerseys. But I think if it was a little bit smaller and more intentional, it would have been good.
It's just so big.
I honestly think that I would have liked the wording more to be on the black one if you did it in, like, the white, and then you added more of, like, that bigger white stripe on the side.
Yeah. The Arizona just seems unnecessary.
It doesn't seem unnecessary to me. I think it seems out of place. Like, I feel like it just is kind of an eyesore.
I agree with you. Yeah, I looked at those and I was immediately... I feel like this is kind of the new age of jerseys where everyone's just like, okay, let's make it as simple as possible and let's put, like, some new font on it.
So now we're going to go on to just the helmets that were released.
Yeah, so these are just the 3 helmets. No jerseys were added to this. So it's just its own section. We'll just talk about each and not really rank them. The Lions one, I don't know why you'd change it without I could try and imagine, like, an alternate jersey that went with this.
Yeah.
I could imagine one that was, like, it was this color, maybe the pants or the jersey was that shade of blue.
Of blue, yeah.
And then, like, white pants or, like, maybe, like, an all-white jersey with that. Plus, I feel like they're gonna wear this with the gray jerseys,
And it won't look as good.
One of my least favorite jerseys is the gray Lions jersey. And then we also have the Browns. This one, I don't know why. I'm gonna go to the X post because Elon changed it. So
I like these. I don't know. I like the white of it. I like
the simplicity of it. It goes the jersey that they're showing it with, which is their jersey from last year that they released, which I really like that jersey.
Yeah, I do too.
But that jersey also doesn't have Browns on it or anything, and the helmet just barely. The thing is, like, I get that they're going off of the premise that if you're watching an NFL game, you probably know which each team is. But still, I don't know. I
think it's commanding. I think that it's like, you know who I am. Like, I don't have to slap a logo on it for you to know who I am.
You know who the Browns are. You've seen our mediocrity for the last 50 years. You know who we are. Finally, we have the Falcons helmet. It's kind of from the, I think, 80s, 90s type look, and they're going to do this one for 3 games this season. I like this one. I mean, I think it just goes with their...
I honestly, because I don't watch the Falcons a lot because, we're Vikings fans, like, it doesn't happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, if I saw that, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you that it was different than the ones they have now, because I just can't imagine what they have now.
They have...
It seems pretty standard NFL helmet to me.
They have a, if you want to type in Falcons helmet, it's just a black helmet, and they evolved the logo a little bit. That's on the left.
I like their old ones better.
Well, yeah, but this one goes with, I think it goes with a retro jersey they released last year. Okay. And just in this season and the season before that were the seasons where the NFL was just finally starting to say, okay, you can have alternate helmets.
Okay.
Before, alternate helmets weren't allowed at all. You had to have one helmet all year. So I think this is just them releasing one that goes with the alternate jerseys that they've been released.
Okay.
I don't think it would go very well with some of the other ones that they have.
Yeah. It just doesn't really stand out to me.
Yeah. I mean, it serves the purpose it was supposed to serve.
Yeah.
But anyway...
That's the conclusion of the list of new things that have released in the NFL.
So this is a very... Obviously, it's always going to be a controversial thing. People have very strong opinions when it comes to color and when it comes to just how something looks to them.
Your preference on teams kind of gives you a bias. So if you love the Cardinals, you might love the new uniforms.
Yeah.
And maybe we place the Vikings in third because we like the Vikings look and the colors and everything, and you might hate purple and yellow if you're from Wisconsin or something.
Yeah, I have noticed kind of a psychological thing where, like, have you ever, like, a team starts doing really well and, like... superstars get traded to a team and, like, you see them in a jersey and then you subconsciously start to think that jersey looks cooler when the team's doing better. That happens to me sometimes. So that might be kind of an aspect of it. Let us know what you thought in the comments and just rank yours in the comments and we can start a conversation.
Just be nice to us.
Yeah, be nice to us. Don't call us losers or anything like that. But anyway, we're really excited for all that. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.